Greetings and salutations. It's yours true, Slang Q. We here for another installment of Darkness with the Ginger Hue. No relation. No relation. I got my brother, my partner in crime with me, TOKS. What you saying, you blessed?
I am blessed,
See?
stressed, but blessed. We're all good
Yeah,
here.
I hear that.
Yo.
I hear that.
It's another day, another dollar. We're here again for another episode. Yo, Slang, how you doing today?
I'm not bad, man. I'm not bad. As you know, I went through a little thing with the lady, so but
Yeah.
she's doing better. Like, it's weird. It kind of like just disappeared, but she's doing better
Sometimes it's
without
stress,
any
yo.
details. It's
Yeah.
valid, very valid
Yeah.
point, very
That
valid
was
point. But
funny.
other than that,
Funny you talk about that because I just probably this evening I went and started watching House, and House is
MD,
a great show because it's very
I didn't really
complex.
get into House.
Oh
I didn't
man,
really
if
get
you
into
if you if you just sit down and listen to the guy,
yeah,
the character itself is what sells the show.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
everybody knows a guy who's like this,
yeah,
always trying to be right, always telling people what
yeah,
to do,
yeah.
doesn't care about people's feelings and whatever.
We've had
But in
some
in
guests
the
on the show.
medical field, he that shows a good one. But anyways, um, there was an episode about how a person's stress caused them the pain that they're dealing with
No,
to the
that's
point where it
regular.
it numbed their legs
Yep,
or it gave them heart palpitations and so forth. I'm like,
yep. Stress is
it's
like a
possible.
number one reason for most issues, most medical
Yeah,
issues. Stress
yeah,
is like a
yeah,
number one reason.
yeah.
Whether it's
Now,
like half related or stress eating, for example, or that type of stuff. Yeah,
So
stress.
I was going to ask you before we get into it,
Mm.
what when you are stressed out, what do you do, or what happens to you? What shuts down for you when you get stressed out?
I That's a very good question, man. That's a very good question, and I'm actually disappointed in myself that I haven't really studied my pattern that way because I
Mhm,
think that's
mhm.
important.
Yeah.
But I could say I eat differently. I'll probably eat more junk,
Okay.
comfort food, quote unquote. My sleep gets affected. I will say that. I had a bout of that recently where I was starting, I was feeling a way about finance and that type of stuff, and it
Hmm,
was
hmm,
waking me up. I was waking up like at 5, going to bed at like, me, I'm a late out night owl, so
hmm,
I'm going to bed at like
hmm,
2, wake up at 5, and thinking about money and how I can
hmm.
make more and all that jazz, which I don't like. Especially that topic, I don't like to get stressed over money, but it's inevitable in our old ages. I
It
not
is.
sorry, in our adult ages, it's
Mm,
inevitable because we are,
true.
but
Let's correct everything there. It's adult ages for
it's
real.
adult ages.
I'm honestly the same way when it
Mhm.
comes. Like I've been dealing with some stress myself and sleep off. Like like you
Yeah,
said, I mean, we're both night owls, and I'm going to bed 3, getting it up at 8,
yeah,
and you have to function. You still have, I mean, I have a child I have to deal with, so you have to function. But
it's a function.
the only good thing about that is because I can function on shorter amounts of sleep. That's fine.
Right.
But when you're not sleeping at all, man, at one point I didn't sleep for 24 hours. I'm like, man,
Yeah, and that
what is going on?
even just like a common cold is easier to catch with that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You get
Anything.
lethargic.
Yep, yep.
Get lethargic. You don't want to do, like, eating wise too. You don't want to eat. Like, you don't want to prepare to eat. Like you
Yes.
said, the junk food is there, but I'm like I didn't have the junk food, but I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, but I don't want to. So I'll order something, or I'll just go into something that's easy to freaking fry or throw in the
Yeah,
microwave. I'm like,
exactly.
man.
Exactly. Bad
I'm
choice.
looking at myself. Yeah, and I'm looking at myself like I used to, like, I have Hello Fresh boxes that come in. I would be chefing it up,
Yeah,
and I would enjoy that. But
yeah.
nah, when you're in a stress level,
You don't
that's
really
it,
wanna,
man.
yeah.
You
I
don't
mean,
want to do
it could
anything.
be a mild depression. It can, or,
Yeah.
it could be, I mean, we're just talking about stress because stress can
Mm-hmm.
lead to real depression,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
your initial stages could be mild depression where you don't feel like
No,
doing much.
you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. You're
yeah.
right.
But,
Now,
I mean,
now,
go ahead.
before we get into the sour part, let's brighten up. What
Mhm.
any positive atmosphere did you do to better yourself today? As we usually go through that.
And funny you asked that because I was gonna say one of the, I think for me, the keys to defeating stress or depression overall is exercise, and that's
Mm,
today. I exercise, trying to keep it 100, bro. I don't know what happened. Well, I do. I've been eating kind of. Wintertime is kind of an overall. I don't want to say depression, but overall
change of
somber
yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
So I tend to eat more badly. I eat worse than normal. So I gained. I could say I gained. My pants is feeling tight. Some of my pants ain't fitting me and all that. So my goal is to get back down because
No,
I'm going
wouldn't,
away.
wouldn't you think that that's just human nature though? Like just like bears and other
No, yes, that does
right?
happen. You do
Right.
gain
So
more. Most people gain more weight during the winter
right. Because
naturally.
you're storing it because your
Yes,
body
yes,
is built to survive. So it
right.
knows that there's a change of season.
Yeah,
Here you go. Start storing that stuff.
yeah.
So
But
again,
I think
don't
I
feel
think
bad
both
about it, but
contributed. I think I ate. I ate. I gained more weight than I should have. What they call
mm,
winter weight. To your point, I gained
mm,
more
mm.
winter weight than necessary
Gotcha.
by
Gotcha.
eating a
Gotcha.
certain way. What about you? What'd you do?
For the most part, I really um didn't do anything for myself per se in the time frame, but I had a lot of extra time with my daughter,
Nice.
and and it's amazing how children just evolve so quickly. Like
Mm,
like my daughter has evolved to a point where she's like her reading is good. We did a parent teacher thing a while
mhm,
back, maybe last week or so, and
mhm.
her reading and writing is great.
Oh,
Math is good. I
that's
got a report page, report card, and their teacher's telling me that she's a nurturing type of student. Anybody who
personality.
gets hurt, she's ready to jump in and help, gives
Beautiful.
hugs and whatnot. At the same time, she's attentive. She answers questions. She participates, and she
Nice.
has that Tokes gene of not sitting still in class.
Ah,
So
nice.
she'll be up and she has to be directed to stay on task. And I'm like, all right, that's normal. And I'm like, I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah. Yep.
So um, when she's here with me, we tend to do a lot of like just chill stuff. 'Cause
Mhm.
I know a lot of I guess parents are told, keep them learning and do that. I'm like, man, sometimes just being a kid is fine. We
Yeah.
watch movies and we play games together and we talk about stuff, and we'll go out and we did shopping together, grocery shopping, and she was picking out what she wants to eat, what type of things she needs, remembering what she needs to like. So I'll tell her we need ketchup. So I'll be testing and say, oh, we're about to leave. What else do we need? Ketchup. Boom, we go out and get the
Nice.
ketchup, and
I
then we're
like
good
that.
to go.
That's
So
dope.
just no school stuff, right? Because
Stimulating your brain.
the teacher is
Mhm.
meant to do, and the teacher's an amazing teacher. So
Nice.
I let her do her thing and let the school do it. If there's extra stuff, by all means, we'll do that. But right now, I'm gonna let her be a kid and enjoy
What
that.
grade is she
And
in?
she's in just kindergarten right now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
transition from that to grade one, which it makes it a full day, I'm worried about it, but I'm not, because I mean, half day to full day.
Yeah.
Child has to understand what's next. Now
Yeah.
you're packing a
And
lunch,
like
and
you said,
now,
they adjust quickly.
yeah, more
Most
fun with
for
the
the most
people
part.
they're out there with. So yeah,
All right.
yeah. But like I said, I enjoy the time I have with my daughter. She plays some games with me on the computer.
Mhm.
It's just so rewarding just to be a parent like that and just seeing what you've created into something that is learning
Yeah.
and following
Yeah.
what you're doing.
That's
So
gotta be amazing.
it
That's
is, it is a good, and I never thought that it would be so fulfilling until
mhm.
you see your seed do the things that you know are just wowing you. You
Grow
know,
into a person.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's the smallest things from, "Hey, dad, let's clean up," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," and she'll clean the room. She'll know how to sort her
Mm.
laundry, things that just is amazing to
Nice.
you. Like I created this, and she's doing it on her own, and she's only 6. I'm like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah. I
What
like
happens at 12 and stuff?" And I'm like,
right, right,
I'm
right, right,
ready
right,
for that. That's cool
right.
stuff. So
And then when she
I
starts
hear you.
dating,
Man, don't even get me that. That's the thing. She's gonna be a very beautiful young woman. So I gotta be in shape. You're telling
uh,
me, hey,
yeah.
you gotta be in shape for yourself. No, I gotta be in shape for that dude, yo. I gotta come these. Who you coming here to see?
Give her the old bad
Yep.
boys.
I
Yeah.
give her the bad
I'm
boys.
still waiting for my niece to bring a guy home. So I could do that with her dad. I'm still waiting for that. Man.
I'm waiting for the day,
I've been
man. I'm
studying that
waiting.
script just for that day.
You know what I would do actually? I'll say, Hill, come here, son. You're gonna come downstairs, and I'll even get you on here. You have an interview, sir. You
Yeah,
have about 5 different guys here to
I'm
talk to
with
you.
it. I'm with it, bro. I'm with it. I'm with it.
I'm gonna leave you with them.
I'll
I'll be
put on
out
my
here.
Pooh Shiesty mask.
Exactly.
I'll be
And when
beyond him. Beyond him.
yeah. Yo, bro, I hear you gonna take my girl out. What's going on? And that's it.
You know I know where you live, right?
Exactly.
I know where you live, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I won't do the talking. Let the people that do
Beyond
the
here
talking for me.
sharpening knives. I'll just be sharpening my knife while I'm talking.
Yo, I'm just waiting for that
we
day,
are sick
man.
people. Yes, we're sick.
We're definitely troubled. We're definitely troubled. Okay. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
all right.
Mm.
It is March. And with that being said, we have the madness of March. We have March Madness. The NCAA basketball tournament is in full throat right now. It is going hard. Pause.
Pause if necessary.
All right. We have both the men's side and the women's side. And as we were talking in our green room session, it seems to me that the women's side of things is getting more popular to be watched than the men's side. Do you agree?
I have to agree as a basketball fan who kind of fell off of watching NCAA because of all the movement. It doesn't feel the same anymore.
I agree.
But yeah, I know more about the women players. I know more ladies' names than I know than I do. I actually, besides what's this guy? Ede? He's from Toronto or from Canada.
Okay.
Besides maybe him, yeah, Zach Ede. I can't even really pick names right now of the men, but I know Juju Watkins. I know Reese.
Yeah.
I know what's her name? The other on her team as well. The other LSU player. She raps too. I forget how to pronounce her name, but it's like Faluja or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I know like at least Caitlin Clark.
Oh, that's the name right there. I was gonna say
5 players that are playing in women's NCAA, and this is the first time ever for me that I've ever could say that.
And it's almost like you're wanting to tune in because you know these names now. You want to see what they can do. And I think more credit is to their accomplishments now. They're getting recognized. Miss Clark, she is the best of the best in that history of basketball.
That's right.
So she deserves to get her flowers. Now she's done it in I believe it's a 5-year career that she's had in terms of school. I don't know if she's right. So for her to do that and do it well, and then again, the funny thing is the whole crossover. You know, the Steph versus her in 3-point thing. That alone is big. Is big. You're recognized in the NBA now as a superstar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, the women has now come up. So we're at a point where the men and the women tournament are at the same level. If not even more, the women are even higher than the men right now.
It's arguable that the women are higher right now.
Yeah.
Which is actually
just prestige wise.
Yeah, just prestige. Name recognition. Let's say that.
Yes.
Name recognition. It's arguable that the women are higher.
I don't think
I'm not the I'm not an NCAA watcher.
Right.
Like I usually only watch during March Madness. But this is the first time since the years of Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie and
Rebecca Lobo and them.
Yeah. Yep. That since then I haven't watched, and I've watched a few games for March Madness for the ladies. Probably the same amount as the men. Probably.
I watched honestly, I tuned in and I was enjoying the women's games even more than the men. I know the men will get a bit more intense when it comes down to the Elite 8, Final 4, but right now, these women right now, they're balling and they're trying hard.
There's a thing too, right? Like I feel like, and pardon me while I say this, ladies, because there's less athleticism in their game,
Yeah.
generally speaking,
No, I get it.
right?
Yeah.
It's better basketball.
100%.
It's better
100%.
you see them like the guys, sorry fellas, like you guys are just shooting threes most of the time.
Mhm.
That's mostly
Mhm.
what you're doing. If you're not
Mhm.
shooting threes, you're trying to dunk.
Yeah.
But there's no not no, but there's very little posting game. There's very little moving the ball. It's a lot of one-on-one with the guys, just like NBA nowadays. Pretty
Mhm.
much the same
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
But the ladies are moving the ball. I seen some pocket passes, some baseline passing,
Mhm.
some I've seen some post up. The girl who plays for I just watched this game and I forgot freaking oh my gosh, I just
Was
forgot.
LSU? Was the
Not
LSU game?
LSU. No, it's not LSU. Is it Iowa? It might be
Yeah,
Iowa.
probably Iowa. I watched the Iowa again too today.
I forget who just played today. They were just playing just a while ago, and I forget it's two Stanford and somebody else, and I can't remember the other team.
I know
Um,
South Carolina played today as well too. That's
no, it wasn't South Carolina. It's like not a red and yellow team. But anyway,
then that's probably Iowa. Oh, sorry, not
probably
Iowa.
Iowa. It's
S.
not USC either. It's
Oh,
not
okay, it's not
USC because
USC. Okay,
Juju Watkins I would plays on USC.
right,
She's
right.
she's a beast too. Like she's
Yeah,
a scorer. Like broke the
yeah,
record. So
yeah.
it, it's a better game. Let's just put it that way.
And and you're right. I think it was probably Texas. Maybe could have been Texas.
That doesn't sound right.
Tennessee is played. North Carolina State played. Oklahoma played.
Mhm,
Sorry. Let me go back here. Ohio State played.
mhm.
Nebraska,
I'll tell you
Oregon,
no.
Virginia Tech, Stanford, Iowa State. Probably is the
Who
team
played
we are talking
Stanford?
about.
Iowa State
Yeah,
played Stanford. Then it's
yeah.
that Iowa State.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't remember her homegirl's name. I want to big her up. So let me look
Emily
that up.
Ryan. Emily
Is that
Ryan had
is she
36
the
points,
center?
where
No.
Kiki got 41. Dropped
He played
41 and
for
16.
Stanford,
He
right?
played for Stanford. Yeah. Wow. Look at this. Look at these points. 41 and 36 on a women's game. Now,
Yeah.
here's the I want to say sad, but here's the upsetting thing.
Mhm.
Now that they're getting recognition and they then
Audie
transition
Crooks. That's her name. Audie Crooks. Sorry, we're
Audie
going.
Crooks. Okay. So now when they transition to the pros, they're not getting no love anymore. And it sucks because the league that they're going into
Mhm.
is just not good enough. I don't know. Now, when I
I
say good enough, I mean on a marketing level. They're
well,
not marketing that game to a point where they
the
should.
same
Because I
way.
mean, they're not. I mean, now
Mhm.
I believe they can make money in college from
NIL.
signing
Yep.
objects and so forth, right?
Yep.
So they probably are making a good amount of money now. So
Yep.
when they go to the
Hey,
pros,
the
they
clock
might
is
make a little more, but
mhm.
your career lasts what, 5, 6 years? Then what now, right? You want to have a baby, you want to have a family,
Maybe.
all this stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that is a factor in women's sports in general. So yeah, you're.
Hmm. Hmm.
But what I will say, I agree with you in the current climate that might happen. But
Hmm.
if history should repeat itself, so to speak, like I said, the last time that I feel the women had this type of recognition in college was the golden years of
Right.
WNBA,
The
which is
Leslies, the
yeah, these
Lobos, the Swoops, the
right. So
Staleys. Yeah,
hopefully
we get
this
that
is what's
surge
gonna
again.
happen. Yeah. These women have the star power
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
previous classes probably didn't have going into the league.
I totally agree, and I think it's reminding me of the soccer surge that we had with USA and Canada in the Olympics and their international games. Remember, no one was talking about soccer on a North American level, and then all of a sudden, you had Canada, US, and
Mhm. Mhm.
Sinclair on the Canadian team, and Mia Hamm and all those other girls.
Right,
People were
right, right,
talking about
right,
it,
right,
right? So
right.
now that these folks are now retiring, getting out, you might have soccer dip down in the ratings, but it's, again,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
talent is still there. But those
Right,
names will be solidified as, whoa, okay.
yeah,
So these girls can come into this league now and say, hey, yeah, we're here now. Come watch us.
right.
This girl's dropping threes from the logo.
In
People are
these
going to come
like
to the games.
30s and 40s and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they didn't come for that.
And I think it's prime for this to happen for WNBA. I think it's again history might be repeating itself. It's timing, and
Yeah.
it's also what I was going to say earlier is it seems to it's funny because it seems that the NIL deals and
Hmm.
the transfer portal
Hmm.
for the ladies has worked out better in terms of them going professional. In
Okay.
that they're staying in, like you said, Caitlin Clark has been there for about 5, 6 years.
Hmm.
So we get to watch her for 5, 6 years, get used to her, fall in
Hmm.
love with her, and then
Hmm.
follow her to the league. Like I was
Exactly.
watching, I feel like it was Gilbert. It's either Gilbert or Joe or one of these guys that was talking about. A lot
On
of
their
these
pod.
girls are staying in school because they have a bigger fan base than even the WNBA does.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now the key is to
Bringing that
take
fan
that
base.
right with them to the league. And
Hmm.
if they
Hmm.
could do that, WNBA is going to be looking a lot better. Whereas the men, it seems to have had the kind of almost the opposite effect.
100%.
Like a
You
lot of
have
these,
you have
they're not getting
egos
the same
now
thing.
with the men. You
Yeah.
have egos that are
And they're
like,
moving
hey,
around so much
yeah, yeah. It's not
because of
about
probably ego, like
loyalty.
you said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're 100% right there because yeah, if a Clark can bring the whatever amount of followers she has from the school days, I mean that draft is going to be hyped. They're going to be wondering where's she going to go, right? And then that team that gets her going to get that
Mhm.
initial bump. That first game, they're going to broadcast that on
That's right.
national TV
That's
with
right.
and I'm going to assume it's going to be in a prime time spot, whatever that is in the WNBA time slot, and then boom, you'll see from there. Again, when those girls go into the league and start playing for pro, not school but pro teams,
Yeah.
this is what's going to set the whole tone for the next couple years
Yep.
for the WNBA. So I'm looking forward
Agree.
to it. I'm probably this is going to be the first year well, other than the initial one that was all hyped with all the names, this is going to be the first one in a long time that you're going to sit there and watch their draft picks. It's going to be
I
fun to
might.
watch.
I can't lie. I might. I again. I haven't even watched the WNBA game in years. In
Yeah,
years,
it's a
I
summer
can't
thing, right?
name too many players that still play. I don't even know, is Sue Bird still in the league? I don't even know.
She retired, I believe.
Uh,
Yeah, she just retired.
what's her name? Tarasi. Is she? I
She's
think
still
she's done. Is she
there.
still
Yeah,
there?
I think she's still there. But again, you're
Yeah,
right. And
just
like, look at us right now. We're just trying to find a name to talk about.
pulled them out the air.
That's yeah, and it's hard because they're not getting publicity, and then that starts the conversation about are they making enough and blah blah. But I mean, you have to put a good show on. If you
There's
don't
got to
put
be
a show
butts in
on,
the seats, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's
the
all there
talent
is.
is there. The
Right.
talent is there. The
Yeah.
women can play ball. You're seeing
Oh
that in the NCAA level,
yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
it's better. And I think it's better basketball because you don't have the huge exploits of dunks or guys who just have that ego to shoot threes and all they do is shoot threes. You
True.
have team play. You have
Exactly.
you have
Exactly.
you have animated coaches, both men and women. I was going to talk about that. There's
Yeah.
more women coaches there than men coaches.
Yeah.
I
That's
was going to
true.
ask you, do you think some of these women coaches can coach these men in an NBA league or an NBA team? Sorry, because I mean they have the same skill. It's the
I don't.
same
I was gonna
skill.
say I don't see why not. It really just comes down to misogyny and how prevalent that is
Mm,
in the NBA.
mm,
But what's
it's
the
true.
Is it Rebecca Hammond? What's her name? Jeez. See, as a man, this is terrible. Okay, I can't remember the lady's name. But the one lady who was coaching assistant
San
coach on
Antonio.
Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're talking about hiring her for I think even the Raptors were considering her at one point.
Yes, they did. Yeah, yeah.
Um
They interviewed her a few times,
oh,
I think.
it's like anything else, it's about breaking the boundary. Once you get one woman in and she does well, then it opens the door for a bunch of others. But I don't see why not. It's X's and O's. Like
Yeah,
they can know
it's
the
just
game just as much as any other guy.
there's
Um,
women who probably even know more than or not more, but
more
different ways to execute their plays
exactly.
to make them work. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean there's going to be a beautiful mind there that's going to say, hey, why don't we run it this way? It's going to
exactly.
work. There's going to be a Phil Jackson esque type of coach in there
Exactly.
in the women ranks,
Right.
guaranteed.
I,
There's
I
there's
I've
there's
I
successful
said this
coaches
on the
there.
show before. I think I don't remember how many years ago I said it, so maybe I'm falling short. But I think next 5 to 10 years there will be women in the NBA
Playing.
playing. Never mind coaching. Coaching probably come first. I think coaching has to kind of come first.
I don't
You
think
don't see
that
it?
will
You don't see
happen
it?
only because they have their
WNBA.
own league. That's why. Now, if you said that before they made their own league,
Mhm.
then yes, because if you remember, there was a woman who played in the NHL as a goalie, right? And there's other women who play in Europe hockey leagues,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
Because there's no women leagues. But
Right.
now they've created a women's league
Right. Right.
for hockey. So there's not going to be a transition of trying to make the league. They
Mhm.
have their own league to go through. So
And
that's why. Now
if the
again,
women start going to the NBA, then it's gonna make the
it
WNBA
kills
fall. Yeah,
exactly.
that makes
So
sense.
they're
They
going to
need
force them to go that route. If you
yeah,
have a superstar, now they have to use that marketing power to make that superstar that brand. They need to make that Clark their next Kobe, right?
yeah. And to your point, if the NBA wasn't involved with the WNBA, like financially,
Mhm.
then I could see it easier because there's nothing to lose there. Like it's money, and we're gonna
Exactly.
take your best players because they're they're better over here for
Well,
us. But
that's what
yeah,
they did with the G League, right?
right,
G League
right.
is saying, "Oh,
Same type of shit.
G League, we'll just take this guy, put this guy in there, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
and then we have the best players in our league." That's why they call themselves the best league in the world, and it is. It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So more power to them. Sure, we'll see.
Might not be
We'll
the
see.
best basketball, but it's quote unquote the best league.
This is true. This is true. I saw clips of some of these league games in I think Australia or New Zealand, and
Mm.
there was fire in the
I seen
background
that.
of the
I
crowd,
seen
and
that.
the crowd was jumping up and down,
It's
and
crazy.
they were just live,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
live. It was like a
Like a soccer
soccer,
game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And they were like, "Wow!" And
That's
this is
crazy.
just basketball. This is
Yeah,
a hour game,
yeah,
and I'm like, "Wow, that's
yeah.
that's
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 crazy.
what people play for," and they don't care for the dollars. They want the atmosphere. They enjoy the atmosphere. Yes, they're close to home. They're there for the atmosphere.
That's
So
correct.
kudos to all these folks that
Hey man,
have other leagues in the
it's dope.
countries and whatnot.
Yeah,
It's great for the sport. Um,
facts.
here's I had a question about the league now
Mm.
because March Madness does so well with their tournament. If the world watches, they bet and do all that. Do you
Mhm.
think that kind of added to the fact that we have now this play-in tournament for the NBA, the whole tournament style thing that's going on, and not to mention the actual in-season tournament? I mean, they're now putting tournaments out there to catch people's eyes. So I'm assuming it's going to go to a point where now people are going to be betting on these tournaments
Well, yeah, that already
heavier.
happens, man. That already
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. But I'm saying they just started it, right? So I'm just trying to see.
NBA we're talking about.
Yes. Now
Okay.
I'm thinking
Mhm.
because they're seeing how March Madness is bringing in all these eyes every year for the last 100 years. Let's try it in the NBA, and
No, that's part of it.
again,
Absolutely. And again, it's a money thing because more games, more money, right?
yeah.
So if you add another team because it used to be the top 8 per
Hmm.
conference, now it's
Hmm.
like what is it? 8, 9, 8, 7 play?
Yeah,
Or is it 10,
yeah.
9, 8, 7?
I believe it's
I always
I think
forget.
it's 10-9-8.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
again,
it's
I don't
10.
know because
I don't
they
remember.
this is all new stuff for us. So
I don't remember.
before it was just
But
easy.
more games, more money, more gambling overall, more everything, more
More
everything
revenue,
pretty much.
more everything, more
So
basketball, more jerseys sold.
and again, if you're playing, they play. I think it's 2 games, depending on like it could be a 2 game out.
Hmm.
It's more
Hmm.
excitement. So the fans, it's more people in tune to watch because it's more entertainment.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
Very true. Very true. I think
Uh,
again, the NBA did right by doing that because you're bringing more eyes to your game that
Business
never
wise,
really
definitely.
right. So
Because at
we.
first I thought it was stupid because again, I'm used to the top 8, and it's the top 8. That's what we know. That's what it
Hmm.
should be.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But it's been maybe is it only 1 year, 2 years maybe? I think it's
2 years,
been
I think.
and I can't. I like it. I like it. But I'm more. How much? I think I'm more of a flexible fan when it comes to basketball and tradition and stuff. A lot of people like to stick to the old way and blah blah blah. But I think for me, I enjoy player movement in the NBA. I think it lends to more parity, similar
Yes.
to
Yes.
football.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Very true. Very true. Very true.
and it's more off-season excitement. Like NBA season is pretty much all year round reported on now because of
Yeah.
what happens in the off-season.
Well, that's why they have their now special networks. You have the NFL network because they have things going on all year. Off
Right,
season is
right,
still the second season of the regular season,
right.
right? You know, they have the NBA and they have their NBA TV. Although I don't really watch NBA TV too much, I think there's
Yeah.
too much talk in terms of basketball instead of outside of this guy's signing here, he's doing workouts here, wherever.
Mhm.
NFL, they go in and in depth stuff
About the game.
with yes about the game, about the coaching, about the
It's also so
GMs.
much more of an intricate game. Well, I shouldn't say that because as a player they might think differently, but I think as a watcher that it's much
Mm.
more intricate game NFL than NBA.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. More to it for
Yeah,
sure.
I would say
More
because
to it
there's
for
more
sure.
moving parts, more play,
Yeah,
more positions, all that jazz.
yeah.
But
Not
I
in
don't
that.
know, has you speaking on that, have you taken in any of the clips of the new LeBron and JJ Redick pod?
I saw a bit, and they have something there, man.
Okay. It's like
They
science.
these guys are the. I didn't know how smart JJ Redick was until he sat with LeBron and said, "Yo, X is," and I saw him. He brought out the piece of paper and he's
Yep,
drawing out plays on
yep.
the spot while LeBron is. I'm like, "Yo,
It's
are you
like
serious?
science,
Why
Reggie.
is
I'm
that?
like,
Why is
what the
JJ not
hell?
coaching somewhere right now?
Yep.
Like when LeBron is done, he can coach anywhere he wants. That's a smart man right there in the game of
Oh,
basketball.
that's a fact. That's a fact. JJ too.
Yo, that's what
Both
I'm
of them.
saying.
Yeah, both of them can.
JJ is a smart basketball guy,
That's a fact. That's a fact.
and I'm like, that they already said, but people already said they already broke the podcast, right? They broke the code. They're the cheat code right now because
Yeah.
that's what everybody wants to hear. For a basketball fan, player, and fan, that's what you want to hear. You want to
wanna
hear
hear
the
from
X's and O's. You want to
professionals.
know what a player is
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
when they're on the court. You want to know what they're telling their.
Mind the game. That's the mind the game pod. Very dope. Very dope. Very dope.
It reminds me. Um, um, it's a bit of a mix of the barbershop that he had. What was the name of that one?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was gonna say undisputed, but it's not
The
undisputed.
shop. Is it the shop?
Yeah, that sounds
It
right.
is the shop.
That
Yeah, I
sounds
think it's
right.
the shop.
That sounds
So
right.
you had the minds there, right? But you're
Yeah.
just talking about life and entertainment
Different
and
sports, different
right.
things.
But
Yeah.
now they just fine tune into basketball,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You're going into the minds of the best players' minds. Like it's a cheat code. Now
Yeah.
imagine if like Kobe was alive, and he was on that show.
That
You
would
know what
be
I mean?
crazy.
You know
That
what I
would
mean? Like those are the things that's going to be happening now.
because
When these
I
guys
mean
retire,
I
that's where they're
watch
going.
yeah, I watch Gil's Arena and sometimes they'll go into that to a degree. They'll talk about like Rashard McCants and those guys and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kenyon Martin. They'll talk about the X's and O's and at
Mm-hmm.
points and
Mm-hmm.
say certain things. But man, when I watched Mind the Game, I was like, I really don't know shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
These
know,
are
I know pick and roll and
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
drop
Mm-hmm.
coverage and these type
Yeah,
of things,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
didn't know the stuff these guys are talking about. Man,
When you
crazy.
watch it, when you sit there and you watch, you just mind blown.
Very
How
dope.
does that game? How does that game that you've played in school, pickup, whatever, come out to like almost like algebra? It's
And
almost
that's
like
it.
algebra.
That the way you just said it, that is what makes them professional.
And that's why I give them all the credit in the world.
Yeah,
This is why you're paying these guys so much
exactly. Exactly.
to present what they know.
Exactly.
That's why LeBron is the best player on the planet because of his mind. He now takes that mind, puts it on the court, and you see that. Now, it's unfortunate that the other people are not thinking at his same level, but that's the game. That's the name of the game,
That
right? You
is.
have to work with what you got and see what you got, right? And deal with what you got. So not
You know
everybody's
what's
gonna have the same
crazy
mindset.
too? Like it's crazy that LeBron never went to college. Kenyon Martin admittedly like he didn't care about school at all. Uh Kevin Garnett,
Mm-hmm,
another guy, never went to college. But if you
mm-hmm,
listen to these guys talk about basketball, it's like they're professors
Yep.
teaching a course. Like it's again like algebra. It's
That's
like
all they
science.
know, though. You can't ask them about anything else.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I won't go that far, but I
No,
know
no,
it's
well, no.
there's
I'm saying you're not going to tell them to ask you about the theory of relativity. No,
yeah.
they didn't go to school for that. Like,
That's
you
what I'm
want to ask about basketball? These guys have been living it since
saying. Yeah,
19. Man's them are now
professional.
40. You know what I'm saying? Think
It's
about
crazy.
that.
It's crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
all they did.
That's all it
Off-season
is.
workouts.
Yeah,
In the season,
dedicated
they're
themselves
playing.
to the game.
Yeah, playoffs, championships, right? And
Fact.
on top of that, not even just the game, the business side of the game too,
Mm-hmm.
right? They had their agents, they had their entourage, they had their pull with management, they had their
Yep.
pull with the fans.
Yep.
You know, movie deals. Like, these guys lived it, and that's
Facts.
all they know.
Facts.
So this is why they get paid the big bucks. That's why I
No.
can't complain that these
No.
guys are making this type of money now.
That's
I mean,
true.
some of them squander it. Some of them,
That's
they're
on
doing
them.
these. Yeah, some of them are doing the movies, and they're doing a cameo. Like, I think, who is it? I was watching the Lego movie with my daughter, and Shaq's in there just as a voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he made a good money on that. Like,
Shaq is the Snoop Dogg of sports.
oh,
Shaq is everywhere, into everything. He's probably one of the most known sports figures of all time.
probably
He's
the
definitely
next
up
to
there.
Jordan. Next to Jordan, yes, he's
Definitely
number 2.
basketball wise, he's probably number 2. If
Number
I
2
would say that
basketball as
top 5 easily.
an
Easily.
ambassador, as a human, probably the most popular
No,
athlete
no,
that came out of basketball. Because he does everything. I mean, Jordan
Yeah,
doesn't. Jordan did one movie, did a few cameos, right? But Shaq
but he's never
went
really
into the
acted. He's never
right.
really
Shaq did movies.
music.
Shaq put in music. Shaq is DJing. Shaq is a professor or a doctor. Shaq was a
Honorary
officer.
policeman.
Yeah.
Shaq is the personification of Amon.
I saw.
Like 75
Hey, man, I got to go to work.
Legendary.
But that man, I almost thinks he doesn't want to just sit still. He can't sit still. He has to do something. I saw him at a Walmart. Said, "Yo, he bought the store." He said, "Yo, anybody that's buying anything, it's on Shaq." I'm like,
crazy.
what the hell?
I love it. I love that.
I'm like, wow. He was doing an interview with I think probably 13-year-old girl. I said, "Oh, this is Uncle Shaq, Uncle Shaq," and then he brought up the dollars. Here, I owe you some money. Boom. Oh, you don't have to do that. I said, "I told you I owe you some money. Just take it." I'm like, wow. He's Shaq, he is that philanthropist that's just amazing.
I like Shaq a lot.
He is probably the best, most positive role model that came out of basketball, I think.
He's definitely up there. I mean, Bill Russell's up there too.
Well, yes. Okay.
Modern.
Right.
I would say modern for sure.
Yeah. I would say, Bill is an ambassador. He was the ambassador of basketball because he did everything too at the same level. Yeah. He was civil rights man. He was player coach. He was player. He was
different
everything.
Type of prolific.
Yeah. Again, different eras brought out different people, right? In that era with Jordan and them, it was all competition. It was all about winning the championships. The Isaiahs, the Birds, the Magic. It's all about. There was no other acts going on right now. It was just play ball.
Like everything else, music was the same way. You couldn't do music and act at the same time back then.
Exactly.
You have to pick one or the other.
Exactly.
Because nobody believed you could do both.
Right.
Speaking of which, people doing more than one thing, sort of semi-segue.
Oh, segue?
Oh shit, I haven't heard that in a minute. Segue. Your boy Jake Paul.
Oh God.
Your boy Jake Paul has somehow coerced a legend and icon in the sport of boxing.
Oh my goodness.
Get back in the ring. How old is Mike?
Mr.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. How do you feel about that game?
It's gonna. I don't want to hate on it, but I'm gonna hate on it. I'm going to say, why? That's all I'm asking. Why? And now we all know, yes. And the thing is, now we have
dinero.
yes. The sad thing is that you now bring down the sport you love. Now we all know Tyson. I wouldn't say he despised boxing, but he said that the boxing destroyed his life just because of what he was so obsessed about winning and hurting people, blah blah. So I can understand. But now, like, this is for no title. Right? There's no federation connected. Just a exhibition match that these people are going to make millions on. Like even the undercard with people that are either has-beens or unknowns, they're just going to sit there and have their own pay-per-view. That salts the people that are actually fighting for the title. Guys that are heavyweight title fights, they're not even getting as much as these guys are getting in that exhibition match.
No way.
And they've been boxing for 10 years.
That's a fact.
And I'm like, so what are you doing? Who is this guy? Who? And they're counted as career fights for Jake Paul. Tyson will kill this man.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna ask you that, but let me say this. I spoke to one of my guys, and he's a big boxing fan, and he said, listen, man, I'm going back to something that we've discussed on this show in detail before. He's like, listen, it's all fake. It's all fake.
Oh wow.
Even professional boxing has a fakeness to it. There's a lot, and there's a history of questionable things going on in boxing where people are getting robbed, and the judging goes in a very suspect way and that type of stuff. So his theory is that Mike's doing it for the money, and because Mike also knows that it's not real anymore. So what's the difference between what him and Jake Paul are doing and what they're doing in the so-called real world of boxing? So Mike is just it's a check. Either way, it's a check, and that's why he's doing it. Having said that, who do you think is going to win?
Now, I'm going to stop your friend and pause him right now, because I'm like, listen, man's saying that it's fake, and Tyson says it, and you're saying that Tyson knows it's fake. Have you seen the training videos?
Yeah, but you have to do that, right? But you have to do that.
Okay. But again,
I agree.
No,
I know what you're saying.
I say the training videos because you're taking a man 10, 15, maybe even 20 years removed from his last fight. He has.
Well, technically no, because he fought Roy Jones Jr. in that exhibition. Like
true,
but a real professional.
Yeah, he wasn't. That was a real. Hey guys, you can box for 3 rounds and don't hit anybody hard in the face.
Different. This is not much different.
There's no rule. This is legit boxing though. Like this is a fight.
It's supposed to be, but it's also
no special rules.
It's also as questionable as, are they going to go in there and actually try to take each other's head off?
Tyson will.
Okay, all right. I don't know.
Now, again, I've seen the training videos, and I'm not saying that Jake Paul can't fight. Sure, he's an above average boxer. He's showing his stuff in the ring, but Tyson, he's a killer. And when I saw him boxing with his mitt guy doing the training, if he just needs 1 round, and if he hits you the way he used to hit people, that's it, man. That's a wrap. Tyson won.
I almost completely agree, and that's the way I thought about it before having this conversation. But what kind of changed my mind is, if he's just doing it for the money and Jake Paul is the one that's paying him, I could totally see him losing.
No.
Hey, man.
Tyson's too proud.
Tyson
is too proud.
I believe the same thing. I think he's too proud to get knocked out. I don't think he's too proud to lose by decision.
Yeah, but don't you think he's going to go and try to give people a show?
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to try to knock him out. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't think he has to try to knock him out.
You think it just happened because he's that strong?
Yeah, I think
that's possible. That is
I don't think Jake Paul understands who he's getting in the ring with until he gets in the ring. Because I mean, it was the same thing that happened with Ali and Foreman. Ali fought him in the first round, He stood back in the first round and he's like looking at this guy and said, yo, this is who I'm fighting. Like this
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
dude, yo. And he stood back and he was in awe. And I have to go freaking 15 rounds with this guy.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen with Jake Paul. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm with
One
Iron
punch
Mike Tyson.
might change his mind. I'm not saying I agree. If Tyson catches him, it should be a wrap. It should definitely be a wrap. I'm very interested if Tyson is going to try to catch him. But to your point, us people watching and knowing Tyson over the years
Mm-hmm.
should be able to tell if he's trying or not.
Do you think he's trying based on his training?
But training doesn't mean anything to me.
You-
It
oh,
does,
I-
but
I
it
get
doesn't.
it. You're
It
right,
does.
but
Like again, that's the spectacle. That's the
with
promo.
with
That's
me, because I've played, we've both been athletes for a while. With me, the big thing for me is you play how you practice. So when you practice,
yeah.
you're going to bring that in. So he was hitting the man's glove out of his mitts, out of his hand when he was doing his sparring.
Yeah.
That's scary. Come on.
That's Jake's head.
That's it, man. And even the
Yeah,
trainer said, yo, if I didn't
I
step
hope
back, if I wasn't allowed to step back and take the shots, he would have been dead in that ring. That's a 50-year-old man.
I truly hope Tyson knocks him out. I hope he embarrasses him because I don't like, and I'm not a huge boxing fan anymore. I just don't like what Jake Paul represents for boxing for all the reasons that you said. It's basically a Richie Rich type situation where a guy's paying for his boxing career. He's paid.
Yeah, but a lot of people are buying into it.
Well, yeah,
That's the thing.
because
like the names, I mean, the organizations and names are buying into this. Hey, we don't have to go fight for a belt. Let's have a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. Let's have some fun.
And what he's also done is created it like he's created a what's the word I'm looking almost a fantasy type situation in which he's like, for the most part he's fighting guys
dream boxing matches.
Dream boxing matches. Are
dream
UFC
matches
guys or again now it's Tyson. You know,
you had basketball guys, you had UFC guys, you have amateur boxers.
It's almost celebrity boxing.
That's all it is. That's all it is. They can make their own league now. That's the thing. But now, and this is why I don't like it, is because you're now souring the game for people who has never. Nate Robinson was there fighting this man.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you fighting this guy for? You're a boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a basketball player. You're not a boxer. There's no point, right? You had guys that used to be in the UFC who were grapplers, submission man, and you're putting on gloves. I'm like,
this might be is this his first boxer that he's fighting? Like first real?
He fought Tyson Fury's half brother, and Tyson Fury beat him on unanimous decision. Not usually, but on points.
His brother
split
beat
decision.
Jake Paul?
Yes,
I thought
that was his first loss, I believe. So I'm like, okay. So now you see that when you box somebody, like he boxed Anderson Silva. That man had a full 30+ career in the UFC. Yes, he was a good kickboxer, but he wasn't a boxer, and you beat him.
Right.
You're gonna claim the fame for that? Nah, man. You just sour these guys' legacies and sell the game of boxing. That's what I didn't like about it.
For me, it would be different if he was selling it as I'm just, this is fun for me. But he's actually saying he wants to get into the ring with a real, like he wants to fight Canelo and he wants to fight these guys, which is another point my boy said. These guys aren't fighting because they know it's a spectacle. They know it's not real, quote unquote. Canelo's not going to waste his time getting in the ring because it's bringing down his respect in the game. And it goes against his respect for the game.
Exactly. You're tarnishing the legacy of boxing if you go fight that boy.
Saying, though, Tyson is doing it. He doesn't care about the legacy of boxing so much.
He said that for a while. There was an interview. I don't know if it was Inside Edition or whatever. He was there with his belts. He was going through the belts. Hey, what about this? How do you like this one? This is trash. This is garbage. Threw it in the ground. What about this one? Oh, this is trash, garbage. He was throwing all his one belts, thinking it's garbage. It's trash. I'm like, he said boxing destroyed him, made him who he is, and he didn't like himself.
Right.
Like, so yeah, he's gonna freaking spit on the industry because he doesn't like the industry.
That's what I'm
He never.
saying. I don't know,
So
man.
so
I
he so
hope he
yes
wins.
so
I hope
yes, it's a paycheck for Mike. At the same time, this is Mike.
it's still Mike. No, I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying, and I
yeah.
agree with you. I agree with that one. He should win. And that's what in terms
Now
of
again,
he
should
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 he
he
should
is a
win.
50-some-year-old man, and he's fighting a young buck who again has semi decent skills. So if he
Yes,
catches him with one shot off guard,
should be a wrap.
yeah,
Should be a wrap. Similar to again, we were talking about the Anthony Joshua and
yeah,
um, how do you pronounce his name again? Shoot, Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou.
Ngannou. Uh,
Ngannou, yes.
yeah, that is an example of a professional versus an amateur, so to speak.
And this is why Ngannou
Look
can't
what happened.
go for
But
he can't go
he
further
did
than
so
what he
well
is.
against Tyson Fury. He did pretty well.
Oh,
He should have won.
but here's the thing. And this is why boxing is sour. That man Tyson Fury
Mm.
takes the whole thing as a joke. He is, hate to say, he's like Jokic of boxing. Jokic he doesn't care about basketball outside of the basketball.
Naturally good at it.
He's just good at it.
Yeah.
So this man's big and he can take a punch. He has some skill. That's it. I'm not
Anytime I
saying he's
see
not
him,
good. He's a champ. But at the same time, he's not taking these guys seriously right now. He's not taking the
I actually
industry
think
seriously.
he took him light. I think he did take him light.
Of course, he got beat.
Yeah.
He got beat. But at the same time, like, okay, who are you? This is your first fight against a champion. This is an actual champion. He has the belts.
That's
Linear
also
champion.
the problem. He fought 2 champions in his first 2 debut fights.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
So I'm like, so why are these champions wasting time with these guys when you should go big up the actual spot you are in and fight for belts? That's why I'm like, boxing is not the same anymore. And I will even say UFC is probably one of the reasons why, because they put on shows every other month, right? And they have cable shows every week.
Yeah,
like boxing is now underneath them. All the stars don't want to go that route now. Everybody wants to train UFC because it's the lights, it's the money, or whatever. I don't even know if they even get paid that much.
Not the money. That's the other thing. No, they don't. Your average UFC guy doesn't get paid like an average boxer.
No. The boxers, they get paid big. But again, you're getting paid for almost a 6 to 10 week camp plus pay-per-view and whatever. And you have to now divide that amongst your entourage, endorsements, all that stuff, interviews. So I just don't like I loved boxing for a long time.
I did.
When it was the heyday.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's heyday.
Even after that, yeah. The Lennox Lewis.
For a while.
Right?
For a while.
Yeah, it dropped down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I'm like, even De La Hoya and those guys, the younger guys, like the lighter guys, they gave us some good stuff.
Yeah.
But after that,
yeah.
Who knew?
I mean, now I'll watch certain fights. Like I will watch the Haney and Garcia fight when it happens. I watch the Garcia Tank fight when it happened. Certain boxing, funnily enough, to bring it kind of full circle, boxing kind of has had a resurgence in the last few years back to those years of golden era years, similar to the WNBA, NCAA women's basketball. It's similar that way, that there's a lot of talent in there. It's just not heavyweights as much. That's where the difference lies.
You're right.
It's more in the years back to the years of Sugar Ray Leonard,
Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns,
Marvin Hagler.
Yeah,
it's more that.
Those guys, they battled, like they battled each other. It was this close knit of the same boxers fighting each other, and you always got a good match. Always got a good match.
The Four Kings.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm like, that's not happening anymore.
No.
It's not.
I mean, again, it is kind of happening because you got, again, there's Ryan Garcia, there's Tank, there's Haney, there's Crawford, and who did Crawford beat? That other guy.
I know what you're saying. It's
Right?
gonna happen,
It's not the
but
same level yet, but
and
it's on its way.
and I think they need the proper voice for for it to be public, like to be promoted. You know,
I know what you're
back in the
saying.
day, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
commentary is why people watch some of these guys. That's why a lot of
Yep.
people love USC because like Joe Rogan, he's amazing
Tells.
on the mic on there. St. Cormier,
Mm,
amazing,
mm,
right?
mm,
They keep you
mm,
interested. The boxers
mm,
here, they're talking about things that really are relevant to the
mm.
match, and there's no
Yeah.
real
You seen Ryan
tactical.
Garcia talking about the islands that they have
That's what I'm
in front
saying. Like,
of
what are you
Hey man,
talking about?
I like that he's talking about it, but it's not to your point, it has nothing to do with
I
the
popped it's funny. I popped in my PS3. I put it on my computer and I popped in the game Fight Night Champions. And the
mm,
announcer, Joe Tessitore, that
mm,
man can talk boxing. He used to train Tyson. So you
mm,
went and I'm playing this game. I'm like, I feel like I'm fighting because this man is talking about the fight. No one's talking about
mm,
the fight anymore. They're just
mm,
talking about silly stuff. And then they
mm.
always go into the crowd. Oh, this celebrity's here, and this celebrity is here.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
gonna.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I can't stand it anymore. They never used to do that back in the day.
yeah, yeah.
Nah, you just concentrate on the fight and do the fight, and then go on its way.
It's a
But it's
material
not.
world now, man. It's a different. It's
Yeah,
about the
and
life. It's about
that's why
the
boxing
choices.
can't survive in that criteria anymore. You can't. It's not entertainment for them for people anymore. UFC
So
has the
okay,
flash and
having said
dice,
that, I guess my question is this: are you gonna watch the Jake Paul Tyson fight?
of course, only because of Tyson and seeing what he can do. Not even like no disrespect to Jake Paul, but it's Tyson is
No,
what
I
everybody's
agree
gonna
with you.
watch for.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
Yeah.
after that,
Which is
I'm
why
not
he's
gonna,
fighting. He knows
and
that.
I don't think I'll even watch the prelims or any, I might, depends on what time it starts.
Yes.
But the main event is what everyone's gonna watch, and it
Yeah.
might be a 3-minute match. Boom, and I'm like,
So is it
okay,
supposed to
yeah.
be 12 rounds and everything like that?
I don't believe it's gonna be 12 rounds. He hasn't done a 12-round match.
Yeah, I don't see
Everything has
Mike.
been
I don't see Mike
6.
getting into let's
No,
see all that stuff. See,
I think it's about 6 rounds.
hey
Six
man,
three
get y'all
minute.
money, man. Y'all get your money, man. Get your money,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you can do.
yeah.
That's all it is now. Cash grab. Sports is now cash grab. Everything you can do, bet on it. From how many points a person can score to how many knockdowns this guy's gonna have in this match. You know, if
Facts.
he's gonna wear black trunks or gold trunks. Like everything is a cash grab now.
It's
Yeah,
good choice.
man. Yeah. Oh, is this
What
woman gonna sing the
sponsor is gonna
national
be
anthem? How
tattooed on his
long is the
back?
national? It's just weird, man. It's just weird.
It's
Does he
facts.
wear the gold gloves? Does he have a mohawk? You know, what color is his mouthpiece? Is he going to go down in the second? Like, there's so
Uh,
many things, and again, these bookies, the legal bookies, are making a killing.
of course,
A killing.
of
I
course.
see people that I've known for a while in fantasy football, and they be throwing up their bets, and they're throwing in thousands of dollars, thinking
Mhm.
that they're going to win that thousands of dollars back in return,
Oh yeah,
fivefold, sixfold. I'm like, man, you know
betting
what you
is
could have done
pretty
with
much
that
what
dollar?
runs sports now. Betting, if you ask a conspiracy theorist, somewhat like myself,
Mm,
yeah, they betting is what runs these leagues,
yeah, and
which is again why people think it's fake.
no one will tell you. No one will tell you the huge the revenue that these guys get. There's got to be a cut of some sort that the pro sports or whatever what's it called uh
Like the
pro
leagues, you
picks.
think?
The leagues are getting cut
Oh
from
yeah,
the
yeah, they
betting
get
for sure.
percentages. Yeah,
Yeah. So you don't. But the thing is, you won't know those numbers. There's a
no,
contract say we're getting X amount of percent for the next 10 years,
yeah, yeah,
and that's it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But yeah, we'll all be in tune. So I guess in closing, everybody watch, support the women's basketball,
Yes,
especially.
please. Yes,
Support the
yes.
women's basketball, especially. But I mean, support Mike, man. We're all fans of Mike. That's all right.
Here's a tidbit that I found out. The NBA is losing their television contract at the end of this year. Think about that one.
Losing it. So there's gonna be a bid for it. So
When I mean losing it, like it is up.
it's up. The contract's up. Yeah.
The
So it's
contract
new
is up.
renegotiation, which means more
Right.
money.
Not even that. They might even go to a streaming service. Netflix, Disney Plus, because
Or their
ESPN
own
could take or their own.
NBA
That's
TV and all that.
I'm
That
telling you,
would
man.
surprise me. That's not even that's a smart idea if they'd actually do that.
I
Show
was
their
listening
face.
to this just recently. I'm like, wow, because I heard I watch a lot of wrestling, and wrestling
Mhm.
Raw is going to Netflix next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
no more cable. They're going to Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I know ESPN is part of the Disney network in terms of sports and
Mhm.
so forth because they have
Mhm.
they can just say, hey, you know what? We'll take that
Put on Disney
contract,
Plus.
put you on Disney Plus. Boom.
Interesting. Well, that's the
Every
way
game.
that's the way things are going, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of sports start doing that. Just
Well,
to
a lot of people are
control
not
their own
buying
revenue.
TV anymore. I'm not buying
Exactly.
TV. I'm streaming it.
That's
Or
me neither.
for what, 12? I paid $12 for the year for this service. I get
Yeah.
everything I need to watch with no issues
12 for the year?
for the year. Is it
Okay,
12?
we're gonna have to talk off air here, man.
Is it 12? It
Is it
might be.
12 a
It might
month you mean or 12 a year?
and oh, maybe it's 120 for the year. Probably
Okay,
120 for the year.
excuse me. Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
I might have, but yeah,
either way, it's still
it might even be, yeah, for the year.
so much cheaper.
Yes. Cause again, I'm getting the
And you get
pay-per-views that are people are
all
buying
you get
everything.
every channel around the world. That's
Every channel. If I want to go watch cricket at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's there.
it's on
I
there
just have to
somewhere.
know what channel it's on there. So,
Yeah, that's what I
but yeah,
believe.
streaming is definitely taking over, and that's something we'll definitely talk about in the
Yeah,
near future again. But yes,
indeed.
Tyson uh going to beat Paul, I believe, and I think it's in is it June? I think it's in June.
I don't know the exact date.
I think it's in the summer month. But anyways, that's going to be the talk of the summer,
July 20th.
July 20th. There you go.
Exactly.
Tyson, I'm going to say he'll take him out in the second round. First round, he'll feel him out. Second round, knockout.
I'm predicting Tyson will lose in a decision. I'm sticking with that.
What?
Yeah, I predicted that. I'm predicting him
You
losing it.
telling me he's
We'll
taking
come
a
back and
dive?
talk about it. Yeah, I think he's taking a dive. That's exactly what I think is happening. That's exactly what I think is happening. Is he's taking a dive? But we gonna see.
You telling me he's going to say F you to the freaking boxing world and say, hey, no, let me just get my money
Yeah,
and go?
you just finished saying the man doesn't. He hates boxing as a
Yeah,
whole,
yeah. But
and he's back boxing. Come on, yeah. I
okay,
think he's gonna lose.
I'm going to ask some people about that and
I don't think
get some
he
answers.
should lose, but I think he's gonna lose,
Hmm. Well,
and that's why I'm tuning in, hoping that he won't.
exactly. Exactly. All right, folks.
Yes, sir.
Another amazing episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for popping in to all the
Indeed.
subscribers, all the people
Indeed.
watching. Much love. We do hope we get to see Devin on back soon,
Oh
her
yeah,
healing
yeah.
up soon. We have another great episode for you in the near future. Slang, we've done it again. You go get some rest. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
get some rest
Falling asleep
or
right now.
be
Oh,
staring at the ceiling. Who knows? Whatever.
indeed, indeed.
All right, folks. Darkness with the Ginger
Peace.
Hue. Check
You
us out
already
on
know.
YouTube. Check us on Twitter. Check us out on TikTok. And that's it. We're out. Peace.
Peace.